Kyle Busch taking home the checkered flag.
You're about to see history. The first man ever to sweep all three Touring Series.
Obviously, the fans love it. There are some boos, though, and you kind of feed off that, don't you?
I don't care. Make the noise. Who cares?
Kyle Busch just dropped a truth bomb that's shaking up NASCAR. After over 2 decades of racing, the 2-time Cup Series champion is speaking out, and it's not pretty. In a bold interview, Busch pointed to a deep-rooted culture problem as the cause of NASCAR's fading popularity. What's behind his frustration, and what could it mean for the future of the sport? You're about to find out. Kyle Busch, one of NASCAR's most successful drivers, has seen it all. From dominating races to facing tough times, he's been around for more than 2 decades. With 2 championships and 63 career wins, Busch has earned his place as one of NASCAR's all-time greats. So when he speaks, fans listen, especially when he's not pulling any punches. Recently, Kyle Busch shared his thoughts on what's behind NASCAR's declining popularity. He didn't sugarcoat anything. In fact, he directly blamed culture for the sport's struggles. According to Busch, NASCAR is dealing with a big cultural shift, and it's causing the sport to lose its appeal. Busch explained that back in the 1980s and 1990s, there was a certain hot rod culture that helped bring fans to the races. Men were obsessed with modifying their cars, souping them up, and hitting the tracks. But now, those fans are aging out, and there's a lack of new fans to take their place. It's a culture problem, Busch said. In the 80s and 90s, you had a bunch of hot rod guys who were cool with souping up their street rods. A lot of those guys have aged out. NASCAR's glory days in the 1990s and 2000s saw massive crowds and high TV ratings. The stands were packed, the races were intense, and the sport was mainstream. But now, things have changed. NASCAR's once huge fan base has shrunk, and there's a long list of reasons why. One of the biggest issues, according to Kyle Busch, is that people have too many other options when it comes to entertainment. While families once flocked to NASCAR events, now they're spending their weekends doing anything but going to the track. Now, there are just so many other things people can do, Busch said. Going to the lake, taking your kids to a bounce house, just about anything besides sitting in metal bleachers under the sun for 3 hours. It's a tough sell to convince people to spend hours in the heat when they could be at the beach in air-conditioned comfort or doing something else fun. While NASCAR can't change the weather, they can do more to make the race experience appealing. Busch believes NASCAR needs to offer something special to the fans who are still showing up, giving them a reason to stay loyal to the sport. For Busch, NASCAR has become more of a niche sport than the all-American pastime it once was. And while the sport does have a loyal fan base, it's struggling to keep that base from shrinking. Another huge issue, according to Kyle Busch, is safety. NASCAR used to be dangerous, races were intense, and the fear of a spectacular crash added a layer of excitement. Fans didn't just watch for the speed and competition, they watched, because they weren't sure if the drivers would make it out unscathed. Busch himself has been injured in a major crash, so he knows firsthand what it's like. But over time, NASCAR's safety measures have improved dramatically. With advancements in technology like the HANS device, head and neck support, safer barriers, and improved car designs, NASCAR is now safer than ever before. While safety is a good thing, it's come at a cost. NASCAR's most dangerous days are behind it, and with the danger reduced, fans have lost some of the thrill and excitement that made the sport so intense. I think a little bit of it was back in the day, guys were getting hurt, speeds were getting faster, cars were getting a little bit safer, Busch said. But there was this sense of, what are these guys going to do next? What's the next crash going to look like? Are they going to come out of it okay? Now, NASCAR has become a more predictable sport. Cars are much safer, and it's rare to see a serious injury or crash anymore. For some fans, that's a problem. They miss the edge-of-your-seat danger that once came with every race. Busch isn't the only one to notice this. NASCAR legends like Tony Stewart have also spoken out about the changes in the sport. Stewart once joked that NASCAR's safety measures made the sport too safe, and even compared it to Evel Knievel, the famous daredevil. But even though less danger isn't a bad thing, it's clear that some fans miss the excitement that came with more risk. NASCAR's declining popularity isn't just about safety or changing culture, it's about numbers, and the numbers are worrying. In 2025, the average viewership for NASCAR Cup Series races is down about 11 to 14% compared to the previous year. In 2005, NASCAR was drawing about 11.5 million viewers per race, but in 2025, the average has dropped to just 2.7 million viewers per race. That's a huge decline. But it's not just TV ratings that are struggling. Attendance at races has also taken a hit. For example, last weekend's race at Iowa Speedway drew just over 2 million viewers, an 18% decrease from last year's race at the same track. Kyle Busch isn't shy about the reasons behind these declines. He believes NASCAR isn't giving fans enough to get excited about. Despite new race formats, road course events, and street races, the sport still struggles to capture the attention of a new generation. With social media, video games, and endless streaming options, NASCAR is fighting for attention in a crowded entertainment world. Despite his frustrations, Busch still sees a path forward for NASCAR, but the sport must make big changes if it wants to reclaim its place in the hearts of fans. Busch points out that the future of NASCAR could depend on the next generation, and his son, Brexton Busch, could be a key part of that future. Brexton, Kyle's 10-year-old son, is already showing interest in racing, and Busch hopes that his son, along with other young drivers like Keelan Harvick, Kevin Harvick's son, will bring new energy to the sport, but NASCAR needs to do its part, too. The sport must continue evolving with more fan-friendly experiences, and perhaps even rethinking ticket prices to make it affordable for families to attend races. NASCAR must find a way to make going to a race more than just sitting in metal bleachers. Busch also believes that NASCAR needs to embrace change and push beyond traditional methods of attracting fans. The sport has already started doing that by introducing new race formats, but more must be done to keep fans excited. As Kyle Busch enters the later stages of his career, his voice has become one of the most important in NASCAR. He's not afraid to call out what's wrong with the sport, but he's also committed to helping it grow. With his contract with Richard Childress Racing and his ongoing efforts to stay competitive, Busch remains one of the sport's brightest stars. But for him, the future of NASCAR depends on the sport addressing its culture problem, improving fan experiences, and finding ways to stay relevant in a world filled with distractions. For now, Busch continues to race, sharing his frustrations while trying to keep the sport alive. Will NASCAR take his advice and turn things around? Only time will tell. But for now, it's clear that Kyle Busch is going to continue calling out what he sees as the problems facing NASCAR. Will his voice make a difference? Stay tuned.